Okay, so last week I put the LED auxiliary lamps on, the passing lamps, and I just got done doing the custom dynamics rings where they're white on the outside, and then when you turn they go amber, and then I put smoke lenses on. So I put these on last week, and actually they were supposed to be dead easy. However, this is a 2012 FLHTK Electra Glide Ultra Limited, and the wiring harness inside would not reach the light. So they changed the version of these, and instead of having a dongle or a plug that hangs off of the light with wires, it has the plug right into the back of it, and it's way up here in the back, way at the high end. So the wiring harness will not reach. So I had to splice in, saw no other way to do it. I had to splice in a smaller wire. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can see it, this one went in really easy, centered. However, this one is not. So I'm gonna have to, I don't think I put enough of the splice in. You can kind of see right here that it's pulling down a little bit. That's because when I put it in, it was still difficult. I put about an inch of wiring harness in there, and or spliced in about an inch of wire, and it worked great for this side, but this side I'll probably have to put a little bit more. So I'm a little bit worried about the stress on it right now, so I'm probably gonna fix that soon. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and replace the headlight with the new 2016 LED, and I'll go get that in a little bit. But what's going to be interesting about that, this is the standard HD light. So I'm going to put in the LED projector, and the difference for the 2016, it's got a little Harley emblem. You'll see it when I bring it out, but it has a Harley emblem up here that lights up. And the little D rings, they're now offset, where in previous years they were, you had the rings right across horizontal. I guess they, for the purposes of lighting up the corners a little bit better, they offset a little bit. So the guy at the dealership talked me into ordering those instead of taking the ones off the shop floor, and we're about to install that. And you can see my bike is really dirty. Unfortunately, I ride it more than I wash it. And what is it, April? See, I was already, beginning of March I was riding this thing. So anyway, so I thought I'd show you real quick how you take this light off. I've actually never done it myself, but it should be pretty straightforward. See, down on the bottom, there is a, I don't know if you can see it, but this screw hole right here, there's one screw holding in this trim ring. And you can see the trimming hole, it's just one screw. Held the entire trim ring in there, and I just took that off. So what I'm going to do now, I believe I have to take the three, there's 120 degrees apart, it looks like. Take the three off of there, and then pull the light assembly out, unplug it, and then the new light is, it comes with a new adapter ring, and I think I have to put the adapter ring. Not 100% sure yet, but I will take a look. And then there's a little wiring harness I'll show you that I'm not sure. I think I'll have to use it, but we'll find out. Here's what you get with the LED kit. You get the instructions, new mounting ring, so the light will float in between there. Wiring harness adapter, which I believe I need. Comes with some washers. And here's the LED itself. So you can go ahead and take it out of the wrapper. The projector headlights. You can see the LED, so it's got this Harley logo that should light up, and you can see these the rings that I was talking about before, these little light rings. Right now, this one's offset on each side, and I was told it should light up the corner a little bit better. I think it looks pretty cool. This look could be nice when it's done. Because I don't have a stand for my camera at this time, took the headlight off, and here's the plug. So basically, to disconnect the light, there's a boot on it. Just press these tabs on the side, you press them in and pull the light off. It's actually pretty easy. And then when I did it, there are 4 Torx screws around the edge that I took off, and that whole ring comes off. So what I am going to do is clean this up a bit, take a look at how this goes together, and then put the new ring on. See what we got. Alright, so I have the new ring on. It's really just 4 screws that hold it on. Wish I had a inch-pound torque wrench. It says, when you read the instructions, it says to look at your service manual to see how to take that off. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything in the service manual about this, just about taking the headlight itself off. So I'll tighten this a little bit more, but you can see it's, I don't know, don't like it. And the other thing it said is put some, comes with washers. Unfortunately, these are self-tapping screws, and the screws are larger than the washers. So you could never put the washers on. So that kind of sucks. Anyways, I will take a look at the light. The light should just go up against this mounting ring, and you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but there are springs behind these screws, so these are your adjustments. So spring here as well. And there's actually another spring over here. So you use those to actually adjust up, down, left, and right. And I guess at an angle too. So I'll take a look, and LED probably mounts right into these screws. And I'll take a look. I assume the directions don't really say, but I assume it's the same screws I took out of the existing one. I think it's a little confusing is I've got this is the headlight connector, and then I have this connector as well. And when I took it off, this red cover was just laying down there. But it's just a simple, you know, your typical blade type connector. And the harness has it. So you would assume the blade just goes into there. This is the piece that you connect to the light. However, when I read the instructions, 2006 to 2010 models, use the harness jumper to reconnect the cigar, garage door opener, and headlights. I have a 2012 for, I don't know if I need to connect it or not. I assume not, since it wasn't used before, so I will not use it now. So I have the retaining ring on for the headlight. Something to keep in mind. I noticed that when I was trying to screw these guys in, the retaining ring, it did not want to thread. And I took it off and took a look, and there were no threads in the actual bracket. And then I looked at the screws. They look like self-tapping screws. I personally don't care for that, but that's what they chose to do. So you just press a little harder when you turn, it'll thread, and you're good to go. Just means you don't want to take them in and out too often. You don't want to over-tighten them either. But just don't like how it rattles. Got the 4 screws in that hold the bracket, that's all there is. But I just don't care for that. So the only thing left is a retaining ring, but I'll go ahead and turn the lights on first. All right, looks good. That's the low beam. And the high beam. Turn on the passing lamps, that should go off. Oops, sorry. Yeah, the high beam's on, passing lamps cannot turn on currently. Turn the high beams off. I've got my passing lamps as well, so there we go. All LED front end, which is what I was trying to do. So again, the 2016 projector headlight with the D-ring slightly slanted, the matching LED passing lamps or auxiliary lamps, and the custom dynamics rings where it's replaced it with amber with a smoked, and you have a white ring, and then when you do your turn signals, it turns yellow. So there we go. So what's left is the trim ring and adjust it. So it comes with directions on how to adjust it, but basically you've got these 3 screws, Allen wrench, and a spring, and you just adjust it per the documentation. Pretty straightforward. The next thing I have in the project, and I'll probably do one on that, is this little wiring harness that I purchased. And what this does, you'll have to take the fairing off, which I have not done before. It's basically these 3 screws up here and 4 in the behind the fairing. It folds over and comes off, and you just snap in this. And what that will allow me to do is allow me to have the auxiliary lamps on while I have the headlight in high position. Again, high. Put it in high, the spots turn off. And that wiring harness will override that. And the idea is that it's actually the auxiliary lamps become controllable with the switch. You just turn it on and off as you wish. So if you want them off when you have high beams, you just turn the spots or the auxiliary lamps off yourself. So it's just ultimate control. Let's go to the back, make sure the LED in the back is working. Last year I did the LED tail lamp and the turn signals, and with the crossover, so that pull the brake, remove the amber turn signals and pull the brake, and everything goes red. There were issues with the LED turn signals, that's why I did not get that for the front. That's originally what I wanted, were to get amber version of those for the front. However, the quality is supposed to be pretty bad, so I've heard from the dealership and various online sources. Another thing that's cool is that because it's all LED, it should pull a lot less current, and it's clearly a lot brighter than what it was. And it's I like the whiter light too. And there we go, finished. Trim ring is back on, and auxiliary lamps are on. Custom Dynamics LEDs are on. A couple things to note is you've got the holes here in the trim ring for adjusting your up, down, left, and right? And sure enough, you look at it, there's the Allen wrench for that. Unfortunately, you look over here and it doesn't line up. The actual screw is right about here. But like I said, I had to splice the wires on the back of the harness in here to get these to plug in. Like I said, I have to redo that one because there's a lot of stress on that wire right now. These custom dynamics were insanely easy to install. You just unplug the bulb, plug the LED in, and then you put the cover on. That's all there is to that. It does require the load equalizer, which you have to put under the seat, but that's pretty easy as well. And that should do it for that install. You know, I never noticed to see if that little Harley emblem lights up. Let's take a look. Turn the spots, the auxiliary lamps off. And it does. Probably can't see it, but Harley Davidson logo lights up. Pretty cool. Don't like, I don't know, it's a little too loose for me. I did notice that there was a third hole up here that has in the adapter ring. When you put the adapter back on, there is a third hole. Wasn't part of the initial install, but there is a third hole that has an untapped thread in it. So if I went and got one of those screws, I could probably put that in it. It would take care of the rattling that I think I'm excuse me, was concerned about. All right, let's take a look. Let's put all lights on with hazards. Hazards, all lights on. And let's turn the highs off. And now turn the spots on. All right, like I said, last thing to do is take the bearing off, put that wiring harness in so I can control the passing lamps when it's in high, or just control it manually. Turn signals off. All LED front end, all LED back end. So hopefully this helped someone. Actually, scale of 1 to 10, 1 being easy, 10 being hard, I would rate it a 2.